I decided to write Red International and Black Caribbean for a few reasons. I think most people, historians, write out of frustration on some level. Um, Frustration with a few things. One, constantly feeling like communism was written out of or not properly covered with respect to the history of Black people who fought really hard to end the oppression that they were facing. That Black people were not interested in communism, that that was for white people. And I wasn't convinced that that was true. Even from my own life experience, I knew that it had to be true that Black people who wanted to fight for freedom had at some point historically felt like communism was an option for that and what that should look like. So that's part of where the book came from. And then a second reason I wanted to write this book is because another aspect of radical history is that whenever we're learning about the way history has changed over time, we're always or usually taught that history by looking at individuals, great leaders, Toussaint Louverture in Haiti or whoever it is. It's always a leader, an individual. And I mean, I know from my own life experience that leaders exist within groups and organizations. They never function alone. They always are part of organizations. And so just, I think, wanting to insist on rejecting the whole great men make history philosophy, which great individuals, of course, deeply shape the trajectory. But I wanted to focus instead on the group dynamic and the organization aspect of revolutionary history for Black people around communism. And when I did that, I saw that these groups are, they're all over the place. So how do you begin to tell that story? Well, it means you have to tell a story that takes space seriously and takes organization seriously. So the space I decided to look at was hemispheric. It was regional space. It was essentially the Americas and the Caribbean islands. And then the organizations were sort of decided by the Comintern, the communist headquarters in Moscow and New York and all these places created the organizations, and then those organizations rose and fell, different groups rose and fell. So put the pieces together, and then I saw a piece of history that had been wiped out of from every perspective. Communist history hadn't considered this question of Caribbean radicalism and communist organizations, and Caribbean history hadn't considered this question. So, I felt like I was contributing to a bunch of different conversations.